Hello everyone, welcome to the Greatest City in the World podcast. I have another special video you guys might have seen last week. We were in Freeport and we're in Freeport again. We are at the Scuba shop, Scott's Scuba Service.
Yes.
Yeah. With the owners, Josh and Jenny Dillerman, and I think it's a really unique business. I think it's going to provide a lot of value for any of you out there that are small business owners, and hopefully maybe just get some ideas on maybe how to market, how to operate a niche business in a small town, because I just this doesn't belong in Freeport. Just doesn't feel like it belongs in Freeport. So I want to learn more about you guys, learn more about the history of this shop, and then we can maybe just get into some different things about Freeport and small town living in general, and see where it goes.
Awesome.
So tell me about you guys. I know you're the owners. Where did you grow up, and then how did all this happen?
So we have owned the shop for 4 years now. I actually ran it for the old owner for almost 3 years before that. We both grew up near Slippery Rock, West Sunbury area, and for a long time I didn't know what I really wanted to do with my life. I was going to college, but I had no real direction. I was just kind of taking all the general classes, and we got into diving together for our honeymoon. He wanted to go down to the Caribbean, and I told him I wouldn't go until I could dive. So we got certified with this shop through Scott Scuba, because we Googled it. We're like, where can we even get scuba certified at? And we fell in love with it. It took all of one class to realize this is what we wanted to do with our lives.
That's really cool.
So I started working we became professionals. We started working that way, and then I became the manager of the shop, and the old owner wanted to retire, so it was kind of the next natural step to take over.
Nice. So you already knew you liked it. You didn't just wake up one day and scuba.
No. Well, that's kind of how he was. I didn't give him much of a choice.
Yeah. I was kind of forced in the beginning.
So did you go to college for business, or was there any natural tie to what you were studying?
I went for marine biology and as a whole, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I didn't actually go for business. I went for the science end of it. And I've always loved nature and animals and the natural world around us, and I was always a kid watching Animal Planet and wanting to see the ocean and experience it. So
yeah, that's really awesome. How about you?
I did not go to college.
Okay.
Whenever I graduated high school, my plan was, when I was in high school, a buddy and I were going to start a construction company.
Okay.
And the housing market was kind of in the tank, so I
Right.
thought maybe that wasn't the best idea. So I've always been self-employed. I started my own business. I was a farrier. If you don't know what that is, it's putting horseshoes on horses.
Okay.
So that's what I did for 12 years. And yeah, so I was doing that and working at the shop, and our ultimate goal was to just work solely at the shop. Mm-hmm. So I guess I retired last year shooting horses, which was good because this is much easier on my back. So
yeah,
he went from one unique business to another.
Yeah, for sure. So you always had kind of an entrepreneurial bent about yourself there.
Yeah.
And then you had biology, which ties in obviously very closely with
Yes.
scuba. So I saw the fossils right when I walked in the door. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that before we finish this thing up. But so that's how you got here. That's so interesting. So did the previous owner, did he self-finance it? Or did you guys just buy it outright from him?
We're working with him closely.
Yeah.
We financed it and bought the building.
Okay.
and the business kind of all together.
It's a cool building and a really unique shop. So I'm assuming when you worked here a couple of years, learning everything, did you learn the history of the whole place? And I looked online, saw it started in 92.
Yes. Yeah.
It's been here for 30 years.
Yep.
How did, do you know how it started, or why a scuba shop and why Freeport?
Well, so Scott Camerlo was the old owner of the shop, and his family used to own all of Freeport. His dad had businesses all around. His brother had businesses. So the Camerlos were a huge entity in Freeport, and Scott was a commercial diver, kind of working on the rivers and barges and stuff.
Yeah.
And so then he wanted to start a dive shop, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe his dad gave him half of this building and said, you can try your shop and see how it goes.
Wow.
And it was a huge success. So he started moving into the whole building, and then it took over that way.
Wow. Okay.
Because it used to be a 5 and 10, I believe.
And
Okay.
the Hallmark store was across the street.
Yeah.
This was the 5 and 10, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that, a little hobby store.
Yep. We had a 5 and 10 in Kittanning too. And everyone always talks about getting stuff there.
There's still lines in our basement painted on where like the shelves and stuff used to be.
Wow. Okay. That's okay. It's really interesting. Explain to me, I mean, I think I know, but a commercial diver, what was that like when they were doing the barges and all that stuff on more river traffic? And they were like, what would they do?
They do a lot of stuff.
Is it still a thing around here?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So explain.
So they can do things from underwater salvage to underwater construction and demolition, welding and things like that.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the commercial work in the areas, like all the locks and dams, we have so many rivers in the Pittsburgh area. They all have locks and dams, and just like anything else, stuff breaks, stuff needs maintained, and that's what commercial divers do, is just any kind of work underwater that you can think of, from salvage work to, like I said, construction, welding.
That makes sense.
Demolition, things like that.
I always remember hearing about that in high school, like, because I'm thinking like Gulf Coast, and they work on oil rigs and stuff.
Same thing.
Same
Yeah.
concept. Yep.
Same concept.
A lot of
just in a river.
people think of like the Navy divers that have the big brass helmets and stuff, and
They still dive with
yeah,
helmets.
same kind of thing.
And they'll have they don't have tanks on their back. Instead, they have big cords that feed up to the surface, and there's a surface tender giving them air.
Okay.
Different type of diving, but
These are things that normal people don't think about.
yeah.
You guys have insight into this world. That's really cool. So, I mean, you guys, I don't know, have you seen, in the time that you've been here, obviously, and then maybe the time before, like, have you heard stories of, like, how did a scuba shop, like, why was it so successful in the beginning? How did that happen? And then, like, it lived through the start of the internet age, which I would think, like, a lot of this stuff, maybe you have a lot of online stuff that you do, and then now social media age, like, has there been a business transition over time, or has it just kind of always been what it is?
Yes and no. So the training side of it, like, we still offer the same packages for your diving that Scott offered, that, from back in the day, kind of an all-inclusive. I think it's withheld the stand of time because it's unique, and you like the social media and the online stuff, like, you have to get trained in person. Like,
Okay.
you can't buy your training online.
Yeah.
You just can't. So people still come into the store, and I think it's something around here people think of when they want to go on vacation. I mean, that's what happened to us. We didn't want to waste our days on vacation taking classes. Instead, we wanted to be doing the diving. So people think about it then. We try to do a lot of things where we bring awareness to it existing, because a lot of people just see it on TV and are like, well, I could never do that. But if you realize you could locally, it's just
Right.
word of mouth is really big too. One person becomes a diver, they want to tell everybody about it,
Right, yeah.
including myself. And it's one of those things, people are just like, where on earth do you scuba dive? And then when they tell them here, and
Yeah.
it just spreads.
Yeah. So I guess I can see that. Like, so do you get a lot of, is most of your traffic from word of mouth, or do you get a lot of stuff online, or like, how does all that, like, where does your business actually come from?
It's good.
A lot of it is word of mouth. I mean, we do
I try to do a lot
advertise
online.
online.
Yeah.
And we have a couple different places that we advertise, but a lot of it is word of mouth, whether it's good or bad, I guess.
Hopefully we don't have any bad stuff.
I'm sure it's good.
But no, people talk, right? So they get this, they get certified. They have this new hobby. They want to do it, and like Jenny said, they tell everybody, because a lot of people maybe they don't know that you can get certified in Freeport.
Yeah. And it's I don't know, it's kind of like to me, it's in the same line of like mountain climbing,
Skydiving.
flying a plane or skydiving, but it doesn't terrify me in the same way that those things do.
It's interesting. Everybody's view on that's different.
Is it?
Yep. I have people who think water is the most amazing thing, and I have people who want to get this class because they want to conquer a fear of it. Like,
Okay.
I see all ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
Obviously, most people who do it are excited about it and love water.
Right.
But
A lot of people's fears, though, people that are claustrophobic, they think they'll be claustrophobic underwater.
You're really not, though.
Which, I mean, kind of makes sense, but
Yeah.
you really don't have that closed-in kind of feeling that
Okay.
you may get in an elevator or something like that.
So I'm curious about, I know it doesn't correlate exactly with what we're talking about, but I'm too curious. What's the training entail? Like, if I want to get certified to scuba dive, what do I need to do?
So to just be able to dive kind of anywhere in the world, like if you go on a cruise or a trip, or you want to come up to our lake, you have 2 nights here in our classroom. Like that's where we're sitting now. You have 2 nights in our pool where we teach you all like the important skills, like how to clear water out of your mask, how to work with your regulator, how to wear all the gear. And then you go up to, we have a lake up near Grove City that we actually have set up for divers. So it's a training lake. There's platforms and docks. We have sunken ships and a plane and all kinds of stuff for you to dive on.
Really?
And you put everything together and you learn how to handle yourself underwater.
So when you say it's your pool and it's your lake, you guys actually own that stuff?
We don't own the lake. Actually, the old owner, Scott, still owns the lake.
Okay.
We have we work real close with him. We have a deal, not even a deal, just a relationship in place where we still train up there. He wanted to retire from most of it. He's big into skiing, so like he only wanted to open up during the summer months, which works perfect for the training lake because he travels all winter. So yeah, he still owns up there, but it's pretty one-on-one relationship.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the other reason why this has been successful, because it's like no one's going to duplicate that. Like no one's like, oh yeah, I'll just use my lake up there.
Right. That's probably the biggest obstacle we have is because people the first question somebody asks me, do you dive in the rivers? Yeah. And the short answer is no. You don't want to dive in the rivers unless you have to around here. There's some that can get nice in certain places, but it's the lakes and the quarries that are really fun.
That's cool. Okay. Sorry, a little aside there, but okay. I'm just assuming someone out there is going to be like, well, that's kind of, maybe I want to learn how to scuba dive, so then they would know what to do. So they would just call you, set up a class, and then you guys do that ongoing?
Yeah, every week starting in May through the end of September, we do a class every week.
Okay.
And we have like a big website and everything too, where they can just call.
Yeah, well, we'll put the website certainly in the description of the video and all that stuff, so hopefully maybe you'll get someone through this. Do you, like, how many people are in each class? There's like a dozen seats in here. Is it full?
We typically, our classes are pretty small. They are between 4 and 7 people.
Okay. And then, so then go back to the business side of things. How do you, like, I know you said you do a little bit of online marketing. Like, what do you guys actually do for that?
You'll laugh at me. I do a lot of Facebook still. I need to get onto like Instagram more.
I love Facebook.
Okay, people make fun of me for Facebook. They say I need to do some of the other platforms. But no, we do a lot of Facebook. We're starting to do a YouTube channel where we do different videos and stuff like that, and then email blasts and a website.
Okay. Yeah. So I'd love to get all those links so we can put in there, and I'm just curious to check out what you guys are doing, because I think it's really cool, and I think I don't know. Maybe someday we'd make a video about that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We just did a documentary with a non-for-profit group, the Cambrian Foundation, on a shipwreck up in the Great Lakes.
Really?
So that's on our YouTube channel now.
That's really cool. So do you do what's the youngest person that you've ever trained to scuba dive? Oldest person?
So I can put you in the water as young as 8.
Okay.
And then when you hit 10, I can certify you.
Okay.
We have one of our divers who's just on our Cozumel trip. He's 84.
Okay.
And he's probably our oldest.
It'll be 85 in June.
Yeah.
So 8 to 80. That's a pretty wide range.
Yeah.
Or 8 to 88 would be better to say.
Yeah, because he's still going strong.
Yeah. Cool. Now, as a new business owner, and then specifically in your business here, like what struggles have you guys had over the last 4 years, or what were things that were like, wow, we didn't expect that, or didn't know that was gonna be that?
COVID.
I was just gonna say,
COVID.
Elephant in the room is
everybody's
COVID.
answer, right?
Yeah. So what was that like? I mean, were you able to do anything?
Honestly, the actual COVID wasn't as bad. Obviously the 2 weeks shutting down was crappy, but because we're an outdoor sport, our training picked up really fast. But in my opinion, the hardest thing with COVID is that it kicked the online sales into overdrive, where people don't even contemplate going to the store anymore. Like, you don't even have to get your groceries anymore.
Right.
So it took going to the store and made it even more obsolete. So it's tough because a lot of people don't think about coming in anymore. So the volume of stuff we sell, I mean, I can sell it online, but that's not our niche.
Right.
I need you to come in because I need you to try it on. I need to talk to you. I need to see you in person. I can't just sell it to you over the phone easily.
Sure.
So that's been really tough for us.
So have you seen, so you're still kind of hurting on the retail side because of that?
Yeah, I think last year was probably our worst year ever on the retail side.
Okay.
Yeah.
The training has been great. People still want to dive. They still want to do activities. It's just, they're thinking differently about how they buy stuff now.
And I would assume too, did the training take a little dip as well in the beginning? Or?
In the beginning, it did, yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking everyone canceled their vacations,
Oh,
all that
yeah.
stuff. So then they're
That's been the other-
push all that stuff
Yeah,
off.
that's a big thing is travel.
Yeah.
So we used to have a pretty large travel program, do multiple international trips a year.
We take groups of divers on the
local
trips.
stuff. But like we still have trips from 2020 that we haven't gone on yet.
Wow.
Because the other side of the world isn't as open as over here.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
places are still shut down, and things are opening back up. But
Yeah. It's slow though.
we have trips that have been moved 3 and 4 different times.
Yeah.
And same with people's personal trips. Like, that's why people want to get certified. And then when they do get certified, that's why they want to buy stuff. Like, you want all the pretty new gear for your trip. But
Right.
if you don't get to go on your trip, then, well, why spend the money?
Right. Do you feel like, I mean, Freeport's a small town, I think less than 2,000 people. Do you feel like it's a negative or a positive being in a small town? Do you feel like it holds you back in any way, or are there enough positives that you're like, yeah, this is a good place?
I don't think it holds us back in any way because we're kind of close to everywhere. Like, we're close to Butler, we're close to Pittsburgh, we're close to Cranberry. Like, we're within an hour drive of a lot of really big places.
Yeah.
And Freeport's quiet, which is really nice. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I don't think it's a negative.
Because foot traffic is never going to be like, you're not just going to walk down the street and go, oh, there's a scuba shop, I'm going to learn to dive today. Like,
Right.
It's something you think about for a long
Yeah.
time. It's not like an ice cream shop or, a clothes store where you just pop in and buy stuff. So
Yeah. I'm thinking of other people out there, like if you're looking to start a business that's like really niche, like what you guys are
Yeah.
doing, in this age, you could probably do it just about anywhere as
Yeah.
long as you're close to some kind of group of people.
yeah, I think if you're unique enough, if you create an experience, whether it's food, whether it's entertainment, whether it's a sport, if you create an experience, people will come to you. It doesn't really matter where you're at.
That's really good. So what, how far do people drive to come here?
Up to 2 hours. We have
Yeah.
people from West Virginia. We have people from Ohio.
Okay. So you're really drawing that whole area.
Yeah,
Like
like
from-
out the center of the state, like Johnstown area. And
One of our instructors is from Johnstown.
Yeah.
He drives all
Wow.
the way here to teach.
How cool. Okay. It's really neat. I don't know. I just can't get over that there's this, like I'm looking, there's small town coffee shop,
Yeah.
the small town restaurant, you got your local bank, and then you got like scuba shop. It's just so out of place. And at the same time, it's just like, obviously it works. It's working and you guys are doing it. I'm just really impressed by it. So small town America, I think, needs more businesses like yours. I think people need to kind of lose the mentality that they have to be in the big city on the main drag or whatever that looks like. What advice would you give to someone looking to do something like you're doing?
I'm trying to think of the best piece of advice. I'm going to go back to what I said before. Just create an experience for people. Make it memorable.
Yeah. Like, how do you guys do that? What does that look like for you?
It's just bringing my passion to it. People always say that's the first thing they notice, how enthusiastic I am about it. I have photography and we have the fossils and we have other things that go along with the sport that we do that we want to share with people. So just be excited about it.
Yeah.
It's
spending time interacting with people as well. That's one thing you don't get online. Like, you don't get that human interaction and
Yeah.
talking to people. You get them excited about it. And the diving community, as you can imagine, Western Pennsylvania is not huge. Like, we're not in the Caribbean, we're not in the Florida Keys, but it's a very tight-knit community, and it's like a diving family. And when people become part of that, it's like it's really cool for them, and that's kind of the whole experience.
And I think that would be the way with any small niche business. Like, people want to be a part of something. Whether you're creating maple syrup or you're a honey keeper or whatever it may be, like, if you're unique and you want to share what you love with people, it creates an atmosphere that people want to come into.
Yeah, that's such good advice, because I was coming in thinking like we would talk about the internet age and like all of these marketing tools and all that kind of stuff, but really it just comes down to like make friends with people.
Yeah.
Do a good job for them.
Show them why I made this my life. Like,
show them that you actually care about them, and like do your best to personalize your service. Like, I think
That's what it is.
And when we want to do it, that's the thing too. Like, I don't care if you come in and want to spend $100 or $1,000. If you want to learn about diving or talk about diving, I want to talk to you. Like, even if you tell me you're never going to take a class, I'm excited to show you my shark teeth or my pictures or anything that we did underwater. So I think that makes a difference too.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic advice. And this is going even better than I anticipated, to be perfectly honest with you. I was excited to come and meet you guys because it's really unique and I think it's really cool. And I know I've heard just different people talk about you guys being in Freeport, that you guys are community people, that you're really doing a good job here. And just, I'm very excited for you, and we're rooting for you.
Well, thank you.
But now I want to talk about the shark teeth.
Okay.
So I walk in, and there's this whole thing of a case of shark teeth right in the front.
Let me grab one.
Okay, she's going to grab one. But there's all these shark teeth and fossils and all those kinds of things. So, Josh, you guys travel around and do dives, right?
We do. We travel a lot.
Yeah, so you, in a way, I think, is the shop just feeding your hobby?
Maybe.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe.
So, what are some of the places that you've been?
Oh man, we travel all over the world. Get Jenny back in here.
Yeah.
The shop.
Sorry
good
about
job,
that,
Jenny.
guys.
Sorry.
We're good. Keep going.
So the shop travels a lot. We do a lot of Caribbean trips.
When you say the shop travels, what's that mean?
So we do group travel.
Oh,
right?
okay. So you take people that you taught.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool is that?
Like 2 weeks ago, we were in Cozumel with 25 of our divers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay.
So we go all over the place. Fingers crossed, we have a trip to Fiji that we've been trying to get to. That's one of the trips that have been pushed 3 times now.
Because of COVID.
But we've not done a lot in the Indo-Pacific. We'd like to get over there more, but obviously it's much easier to get to the Caribbean from here. But we do a lot of stuff in the States as well.
We go to Florida
We spend a lot of time in Florida.
And the Great Lakes. There's world-class shipwreck diving up there.
Yeah, a lot of people forget about the Great Lakes, but
Yeah. Summertime, I guess.
2 hours north of here.
Yeah. So show them one of these shark teeth.
So this is one of our most exciting endeavors we've been on. So
Let's get it nice and
if
close.
you are
Look at that.
at all familiar with megalodons, they are more than just a myth. They were a creature that actually lived. So there's a specific place in South Carolina and also in Florida you can go and you can find fossils. So this tooth is about 2 million years old. And I pulled it out of the river myself. This was one of my finds. We went down. I've always wanted to do it. I've seen people have smaller teeth before, and I said I always wanted to find a fossil. And I went and I did it, and I kind of got addicted, and I've gone down a rabbit hole. Like, we go down all the time now. I nerd out and read all the books, and I've been talking to some of the experts and some of the museum people and learning all about the fossil pieces. But we teach a class because the diving's really difficult. It's really dark water and it's swift current. So we teach a class and then take people down to find your own.
We actually wrote the class. We created the class.
Really?
Yeah, because
that we teach. So
it's a really crazy type of diving. So we have our collection on display.
But it's more than just shark teeth. So the area that we go to, you could find all kinds of different
I found
stuff.
a spear point from, it was about 8 to 4,000 BC. Was when it was created. That was one that the museum curator, not the curator, one of the museum guy, he works and does the pieces. He ID'd it for me. So that was pretty cool. So you can find prehistoric stuff. You can find.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's amazing. I would think that would, someone sees something like that. And you're you trained, you took school you went to school for biology. Mm-hmm. So this is
that's what I mean. I went down a rabbit
scratch
hole.
That itch, right? I mean,
it's
this is blending the two worlds together. You get to be a part-time biologist essentially. On your dive. So it's really cool. So you do that. You said it's South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a kind of a geologic hotspot. There's certain things that happen in that area that make it really rich in fossils.
And I'm assuming you go to Caribbean and Florida. Are you looking more at reefs and that kind of stuff when you're there?
Yeah, Florida's cave diving. We're
okay.
big cave divers. But then the Caribbean's, reefs and the marine life and turtles and sharks and
then the Asia Pacific, that region, what
corals and fish and same thing. So it's a lot of animals and reefs.
But it's a whole different type of reefs and fish.
Yeah.
And different species that you don't have in the Caribbean. Just pretty wild.
It's interesting because so I'm just thinking like diving, but you're blending like blending biology, nature, history, all of these things kind of converge into one world with that stuff. So if you have something you're passionate about, you might be able to find a type of diving that would really light your fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, one of the things that helped us succeed too is his passions within the sport vary a little bit from mine. So like, say you come in and you want to talk about animals and you want to talk about photography, like that's my MO.
Right.
That's what I'm all about it. And if you want to come in and do shipwrecks and, technical diving, he's your man. So it's cool. We both do both, but
right.
Our passions kind of why a little bit, and it lets us have a wider range of things that we can talk to people about.
That's really cool. How long have you guys been married?
Almost 8 years.
8 years.
Well, 7.5.
Okay. And you've owned the business for 4.
Yeah.
That's that's really cool. And to be so young, you guys got your whole lives ahead of you still. And to find something that you're passionate about at that age, I think it's pretty unique.
Yeah.
Do you feel like blessed to have found that?
We do. I'm thankful every day that I get to do this. And I'll never be rich, but that's okay. I get to do what I love every day.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you can find something, you can live a fulfilling life rather than, just chasing after stuff forever. So I think that's really awesome. And I think that's the other thing that people don't realize about small town too, because you can find your dream in a small town rather than trying to go take over, New York City or something like that.
Right.
And it can be a lot more fulfilling, and you can take time for yourself and all those kinds of things. You guys live in Freeport now?
We do.
You do? Okay.
When I was just working for Scott, there's an apartment upstairs. I lived in the apartment, and then I have 2 German Shepherds, so I needed a yard. So when we bought the business, I convinced him to get a house
Very
over
cool.
on the other side of town. So
fantastic. You guys walk to work?
Yeah.
You do? Awesome.
I do.
Another perk.
Unless it's snowing.
Well, yeah. Middle of winter, Western Pennsylvania.
But yes.
Okay. Well, very cool. Do you guys have anything else you want to share with people, or is there anything else we can promote?
I don't know. Just don't be afraid to do it. Find your dream and find what makes you happy, and just go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Very good
That's
advice.
my biggest thing. Growing up, I had to go to college. I had to get this. I had to do it this way, this way, this way. And I remember having a moment where I just sat down and went, I don't want to do this. And I figured out how to make it work.
Yeah. Amen. So get your dream, get after it.
Yep.
Do it.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking the time. It's great to
Absolutely.
meet you. And
you as well.
we're cheering for you from a distance in Kittanning. And all you Kittanning people or anyone else watching this, make sure to check these guys out online. Go like them on Facebook. Check out their YouTube channel. Josh is going to find something historic someday, and you're going to be the first one to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a blessed day. See you in the next one.